can see why we make coffee nervous. Okay.
That's right.
We like to have a lot of fun in our program. Our philosophy is we get a young person to laugh, we get them to listen. And so this morning we thought we'd give you just a little taste of what we do in the schools. Mick and I have never grown up, which is why we're still in schools. Our dad's 6 foot tall. If you know my dad, you know my father. He's 6 foot tall. Our little brother's 6'1", and Mick and I were cut in half.
That's it.
Okay.
Now, he's not telling you the whole truth. See, Rick and I used to be 6'2".
And then we got married and settled down.
That's it.
Okay. Anyway, so we have a lot of fun in our programs, and we're going to invite all the students from all the schools out to a neutral program. We give them free pizza, free pop, and a free program.
That's it.
And Mick just said it a minute ago. We're going to be all over. We're going to be in California next week. And then we sandwich Shelby County schools, and then we go to Utah and Alaska, England, and Honduras. And you know what, folks? And South Dakota's in between there somewhere. But I want you to know, as we travel, there's no greater place than to be home. And yet, one of the biggest opportunities, because normally how we set this up is completely different. We've never had the schools or the school administrators call us wanting us to do this program. We usually have to work it through the school, a church. For instance, we find a couple of good churches and say, hey, look, we would like to get into the schools in your area. They help underwrite it. It's about a $20,000 endeavor for us to do for a full week, because we also travel with a guy and his wife. We've got a staff of people that help us set this up. Our drivers are going to be, they're driving right now to California. They've got quadruplets. And also we have Lee and J.J. Jorgensen. You don't know who they are, but they're the grandparents of one of the girls shot and killed at Columbine. They've traveled with us for 7.5 years. Since they've been with us, we've seen over 31,000 come to know Christ, and over 90-some thousand since we started this ministry. So, folks, we want you to help us. We need counselors that night. We need you to get involved. You say, well, I'm an adult. What do I do? Get involved. If you'll look around, the majority of this church is not youth. And that's happening all across the country. And yet 100% of our nation's future is 100% of our nation's youth. And you just dedicated that baby. You'd like to have a lot more of them come into Christ. And so we need to pray. We're gonna do a song. My son Brandon, who actually makes us look a little more on the youth side, just got married. Y'all can congratulate him. Yeah. And we're going to sing a little bit. We're going to skip that song I think we had up there, guys, but we're going to do the a kind of an a cappella number. We're losing voices, but that's okay. We can try it anyway. And if we just blow it, y'all can laugh. But we're going to do, which one? Okay. Which one?
We're having to
what we sang
a
few minutes ago in practice, we're not doing. I just found that out. So which one?
Are you walking into the enemy's camp, laying our weapons down, shedding our armor as we go, leaving it on the ground? We've got to be strong in the power of his might, prove to the enemy we are the army of the Lord, and we've won the victory. All around us a war's going on between the wrong and the right. We've got to choose which side we're on, the darkness or the light. Now some of the soldiers of the Lord just don't realize that the captain of the army of darkness has come to blind their eyes. Are we walking into the enemy's camp, laying our weapons down, shedding our armor as we go, leaving it on the ground? We've got to be strong in the power of his might, prove to the enemy we are the army of the Lord, and we've won the victory.
Amen.
We
want to ask you guys. We want to ask you guys to get involved with us that week. We're going to need about 100 counselors that night, and we want you to be trained. We've got a gentleman that's going to be coming in from Southern Seminary, and he's going to be at the Southern Baptist Seminary out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, Pastor, you went to school there, and they have an international youth ministry there, and that's the only program in the country where they're now starting a doctorate in youth work, and he's got his doctorate, And they've got a number of gentlemen now graduated with it. I'm telling you, this guy's got more. He can it just rolls off the top of him. And he wants to come in and to teach you how to disciple students and how to do the follow-up. And he's willing to come in on a Friday and a Saturday before. We're trying to get him in the weekend before the Pizza Blast.